Hi YouTube, it's me Tifa Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this month's end of month bot haul, where I show you all the Transformer related items that I've picked up throughout the month. I've actually got 15 items to show you, which represent 8 purchases that I've made over the course of the month, and I actually missed out on another one which they tried to deliver it earlier today, but unfortunately I wasn't at the front door when they went to deliver it. They've taken it back to the bloody depot, and yeah, it looks like that won't be arriving today. Probably be arriving tomorrow or Tuesday, because obviously it's Bank Holiday Monday coming up. Right, so yes, obviously I've done my unboxing videos and a review, so you've got an idea of some of the stuff that's on the table next to me. But with that said, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get on with this month. Right, so yes, Hasbro Pulse. Yes, I've been making a number of purchases from Hasbro Pulse yet again. Obviously, you know, Hasbro Pulse, we've got Hasbro Pulse UK, and now so I've been kicking the arse out the Kingdom line, picking up all the figures that I want, and this month was no exception. I got a majority of the Wave 2 Kingdom figures that I wanted, and let's see what I got, shall we? So the first arrivals, or the first purchases this month, was from Hasbro Pulse, and it was for 2 Kingdom Wave 2 Deluxe figures, starting with Huffer. Now, Huffer is kind of a special character for me because I do this thing called character mold set collecting, and Huffer is my main character I like to collect. I mean, on the main shelf in my bedroom, I've got all 14 of the other existing Huffer molds, be they official or third party. Don't really go in for KOs, but as far as I know, there are no KO molds of Huffer out there that I know of. Yeah, so obviously there was a new one coming out for the Kingdom line, a new Deluxe Huffer, so I had to get hold of it, and here it is. And yeah, he's a pretty sweet little bot. So just sorry, just making sure the autofocus is off so it doesn't mess around. Yeah, so yeah, he's a pretty cool figure. Transforms into a cab over truck. He's orange and blue for the most part, which is his signature colours. Even though, you know, the original toy was a bit slightly deeper orange and definitely a darker blue, but they're going more on the the G1 cartoon aesthetic rather than the G1 toy aesthetic. But yeah, he's decent. It does come with this shield thing that is a bit strange, and he's got a gun which actually folds in two, or comes apart in a very strange way to form part of his alt mode. It actually splits down the middle. Hang on. There you go. See, it splits into 2 pieces, and then it plugs onto the side of the this thing on the back of his truck to form a kind of like a truck bed, which is quite interesting. Unusual take on things, but otherwise you get a gun which kind of looks like the pulse rifle that old Master Chief uses in Halo, kind of. But yeah, he's a decent little figure. He's got the usual articulation you'd expect on a modern, sort of Generations Deluxe. Decent paint. It looks like Huffer. The other good thing about him is because Huffer's got his signature hood going over the top of his head, and it's on a joint whereby you can have it up, you can have it down, you can have it back. You got options as to where you put it, but I prefer to have the hood over his head like it should be. Great little figure. I like him very much, and he's the first bot that I got this month. And in the same shipment of figures that I ordered from Hasbro Pulse at the beginning of the month, Ractonite, got hold of the next of these Fossilizer figures. Deluxe Ractonite, another one of these turns into dinosaur bones. Parts form it from a robot into like a dinosaur skeleton. He's all right. A few Adam's just done a review on him and went a bit over the top with the bone jokes, but yeah, he's all right. He's okay, and yeah, I'm on board with the Fossilizers because there's something different. And so I decided to get hold of them. Well, maybe not the repaints that are coming. I'm not really bothered in getting the repaints, but the normal ones that are kind of in bone colours. Then yeah, I'll go for those. So got hold of Ractonite. He's all right. And that was the first sort of box to arrive, and that arrived on the 2nd. And then a couple of days later, on the 7th, my second Hasbro Pulse purchase arrived. And this time I decided to go for the Voyager class figures from Wave 2. So we've got Dinobot. Yep, I had to get Dinobot because, you know, I'm a Beast Wars fan, and Dinobot is one of those epic characters from the the original Beast Wars, you know, CGI series by Mainframe Entertainment. Really good figure. Not perfect by any means. Obviously, bit interesting transformation to get him into his Velociraptor mode, and there's some discrepancies between the pictures on the box art and the actual figure itself, because they've changed some of the colours, especially on these hip pieces. Because in Raptor mode, you know, the hip pieces are sticking out like dino titties. He's interesting. Like I said, not perfect. The robot mode, I mean, the robot mode is okay. Could probably do with a few more paint apps, but apart from that, it's really decent. Would have liked him to have like a his usual sort of snarling face that he has throughout most of the show. Because yes, Dinobot wasn't keen on cracking a smile in the show, was he? And he was usually getting teased by rat traps. So yeah, he was pretty upset most of the time. But he's a great warrior, and it's a decent take. But again, turning a bipedal robot into a Velociraptor, it's got its issues. It's like you know, G1 Megatron turning from a bipedal robot into a handgun. You know, it's you know, difficult to make the thing work cohesively. So you end up with a good robot mode and a good alt mode. This one, like I said, it's not perfect, but it's okay. It's all right. It's probably the best version of the character that I've got currently. I mean, I've got one of the... I'm pretty sure I've got one of the original ones up in the loft somewhere. I know I've got the Grimlock repaint, the Beast Wars 2 Grimlock repaint of the original Dinobot mould. I haven't got the Universe one that they did. And I haven't got the Masterpiece either. So, but, you know, I had to get him because it's Dinobot, you know. And he's all right. He's okay. Not perfect, but you know, he's a decent enough figure, and it's a reasonably good take or modern take on this character. So yeah, say that about it. Put him back there. And Inferno. Had to get Inferno. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you? Because I've got a thing about Inferno, G1 Inferno especially, because of something he did in the Marvel G1 comic back in the day. It was one of the later storylines they did in the late 80s. There was Unicron was coming back into the storyline. He was basically trying to rebuild his body on the planet of junk, and in order to sort of, how can I put this, to you know, sort of cause a distraction from, you know, his, you know, body being rebuilt on the planet of junk. He sort of brainwashed Cyclonus and Scourge and sent them to Cybertron to kickstart, you know, the war again. And there was these massive battles going on Cybertron with all these brainwashed, you know, sort of bots fighting. And Inferno and Smokescreen were on this shuttlecraft that was coming in. They were being attacked by Cyclonus and Scourge. It was heavily damaged. It was going to crash land, and Inferno basically saved, you know, Smokescreen's life by picking him up and chucking him out the window. And then he says, you know, he crash landed the ship on the you know, the enemy hordes, and you know, went out in an absolute blaze of glory, and I've loved him for it ever since. So yeah, when they was doing another version of more G1-esque version of Inferno using the Earthrise grapple mold, hell yes, I'm on board with that. And had it been a choice between getting Grapple and Inferno, it would be Inferno all the way. So yeah, I had to get Inferno. He's good, he's decent. I mean, the grapple mold is okay. They seem to have fixed the clearance issues and the snapping problems with these pegs on the back, because these pegs have been sort of shored up a little bit, so they now fit in a lot better and there's less chance of them snapping off when you're transforming it. But there we go. Inferno, what can I say? Another sort of G1 character favourite of mine, and yeah, got the latest iteration of him, and there we go. Got Inferno. So that was the second package that arrived on the 7th. Then moving on to the next day, a little something that I bought off eBay. And keeping with the Beast Wars theme, what's it called? Transform Element MM02 Mice Warriors. It's this sort of third-party Legends rat trap that Transform Element have done. I mean, I got the Black Arachnia mould that they did a while back, and I'd seen this had come out, and I kind of fancied getting it, but I didn't actually buy it when it was available. And come the present day, this figure is now more or less sold out. They haven't made any more. They've made all the ones they're going to make. They've done the sole production run of them. There's a few retailers that have got it in stock, but because it's like supply and demand these days, you know, there's a short number of them available to buy, and there's still fans out there trying to get on. The price has crept up, and this guy was actually being sold second hand by a seller on eBay UK, and I saw it, and I looked at it and I thought, bit expensive, because he was asking 40 quid with free postage, and I thought that's a bit expensive for this, because knowing that, you know, when this thing was readily available, it was, you know, you could get one for just over 25 quid. So I ummed and ahed about it, and then I did a little bit of searching online to see what options there were, and all the other places I saw this thing on sale, they were all like 40 plus quid plus postage. So it was potentially, at the time, it was the best possible price I could get this thing for. So, and I was kind of struggling with things to buy this month after, you know, getting all my, you know, Kingdom figures, and I thought, I don't know. So yeah, I went and got it, and it arrived, and he's all right. Pretty similar to the core class one. Obviously, got a lot more engineering going on. He's got a die cast mostly in his legs, a lot more paint, and a decent transformation. He's okay. He's all right. Wish I could have got him a bit cheaper, but you know, it is what it is. It was available at a said price, and I got it, and there he is. Another little rat trap mould. So I've got the Generations one, I've got the core class, and now this. So I've got 3 versions of the same character. Obviously, I've got a Transmetal rat trap around somewhere as well. So yeah, another rat trap for the collection. So he was all right, and he arrived on the 8th, and then going on to the next day, the 9th, a couple of packages arrived, and first one, my Korean toy for the month. Yeah, so hello Carbots, Rescue Ace X. This is Ace's update, or his rebooted version for, was it season 9 of Hello Carbots? Yep. So they did they basically took the Pentastorm combiner and they rebooted all the characters. They rehashed them, you know, gave them all new robot and alt modes, and they've redone the whole thing. And I've seen this figure, and I thought he looked pretty good. He's basically a wave mate for Dandy, because I've got Ambulance Dandy X. So hang on a minute, I've forgotten something. There we go. There we go. I forgot to fold his wheels onto his shins. So yeah, got him. Now, interesting thing with this guy, I was going to buy it off 11th Street, but I had a bit of a problem. My mobile phone, when I'm browsing 11th Street, I'm doing it using the Google Chrome browser on my phone, and when I go to buy something off 11th Street, it's flagging up their website as unsafe because it hasn't got the HTTPS on it, you know, and it's saying, oh, it's a dodgy website, you don't want to be buying stuff off here, and it seems to be blocking my purchases when I try to, you know, add, you know, go into, you know, go add a figure to my cart. It just kicks me back out to the the main screen. And then when I went onto the PC version of the site and tried to buy something, when I was trying to do my payment, it just didn't work. It just went back to the main page. So I think Google Chrome does not like 11th Street, so I give up on that, and then I decided to have a look at Gmarket. Now, haven't bought anything off Gmarket for a while. Couple of reasons. Last couple of purchases out of Gmarket, they were getting customs hits, because they declare the true value of the goods, and then they tell UK customs, oh, there's a package coming across that's cost this amount of money, if you want to charge customs fee on it, go right ahead, it's all that. And another thing with Gmarket is they don't support UK currency anymore. When you go on their website and look at all the currencies they support, GB pounds, UK pounds, nowhere to be seen. So I had to buy this thing with US dollars, which meant I'd have to convert to US dollars, then convert to Korean won when I'm purchasing it. So I hunted around and found this one being sold for a slightly cheaper price than the others, so I went ahead and bought it. Fortunately, the payment went through, even though Gmarket is another website that my browser on my phone has a bit of a problem with, but not so much as 11th Street. But I managed to buy it, and it went through. Fortunately, it got through UK customs without getting a hit, so I paid about 50 something quid, because even though you get the figures really cheap, it's the shipping charges that really hits you when buying through these sites, because they charge you shipping separately, and the shipping charge they charge is around about it's usually about 20 something quid for the shipping, and it's quite expensive, even though you're getting the figure for like 30 something quid. So you put the two together and you end up paying like 50 something quid. So he arrived, and he arrived in the box was wrapped in black plastic, and when I opened it, I noticed the flap on the top of the box was undone. Didn't think anything of it. Got the figure out, and when I was looking him over, all the surfaces on the top of the figure had a fine layer of dust on them. So top of his shoulders, top of his back, these pieces here, and all the top surfaces had a thin layer of dust. And I basically had to brush it all off, which I thought was a bit weird. And then I noticed that some of his joints were a bit... I've tightened them up now, but his ankle joints were a little loose. His thigh swivels are a bit loose as well. And it got me thinking that maybe I'd bought a used figure. Now, I can't tell for sure. What sort of clued me in that I probably bought a used figure was, like I said, the dust on the figure, because perhaps somebody bought it, they messed around with it, put a bit of wear and tear on the joints, and then they put it on a shelf for a couple of months, and then it got a small amount of dust collected on it, and then they decided to sell it. Fortunately, they still had the original packaging, so they bundled it back in the box and shipped it off to some sap in the UK who's bought it, for a slightly lower price than the going rate for this figure on Gmarket. So there we go. Apart from that, it's in perfect condition. There was a few little loose joints, but there's no scuffs or scratches on it. It's it's in really good condition. Otherwise, all the packaging and instructions was there. It's just a little suspicious that the box was not sealed, the box was undone, and it had the dust on it on the top surfaces, which got me suspicious that I bought a used one. And it's my opinion of this figure has gone down because of that. I'm not saying I hate it, but I'm not quite as happy to have it as I was previously. So he's okay, he's all right. Aesthetically he's a lot better looking than Dandy, but apart from that, slightly smaller than your average Carbot, and solidly built, don't get me wrong, apart from those, like I said, those few joints that are a little loose, but apart from that, he's really good, and he's the second figure, the second Limbot figure I've got for the Pentastorm X. I've just got to get 2 more to go, and I'm planning on picking them up next month. In fact, maybe tomorrow. I'm probably going to try have a look on 11th Street using the browser on this computer, because I've got Windows Edge, and hopefully Windows Edge will be able to talk to the 11th Street website, and maybe I'll be able to get some payments through that way. But anyway, so I got I've got Ace X. He's okay, he's alright, but like I said, I probably don't like him as much as I would have, because I suspect that I've been sold a used figure, but I can't really confirm that. But other than that, he's not too bad. Right, and those guys arrived on the 9th. So, moving on, I mean, it's not really a big haul. I mean, I've only got a few more bits to show you. We're still on the 9th, yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, these all arrived on the 9th. So, Ace arrived on the 9th, and then I had another package from Hasbro Pulse turned up. Actually, the 9th, yeah, that was before I went away, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, so, so I bought some more, Kingdom Wave 2 figures off Hasbro Pulse, and got me a core class Megatron and Deluxe Arcee. Core Megatron, yeah, he's a cool little dude. I like Megatron. He's one of my favourite characters. I mean, because I've got pretty much all the gun formers here and a few more down here, so I've got quite a few Megatrons. I've got some more on the shelf up above, and so yeah, he's one of my favourite characters. So he turns into a tank. It's a little core class tank former. Interesting thing, he does come with a gun that looks suspiciously like a Walter P38, an extra handgun that looks like a Walter P38. So there's a throwback to his G1 sort of alt mode origins. He's okay, he's alright, he's pretty well painted, decently articulated for a core class figure. I mean, he's got a waist joint, for Christ's sake, very different, unusual, but worth getting all the same. So he's pretty cool. And then Arcee. Now, this figure got a lot of flack last year with the Earthrise release. Some people weren't too happy about it. There's a variety of reasons why people were criticising it. It's not the greatest mould in the world. It's a hell of a shell former. I mean, basically all the car mode is on her back, apart from a few panels on her arms. You can remove the car chunk and slim her down slightly, so she looks a little better. And obviously, she can also, sort of stand on it like a she can also ride it like a surfboard. So it's a thing. It's a massive shell former. I will admit, I mean, I got the Elita 1 version of the mould from the Netflix line, and so I knew what I was letting myself in for when I bought this mould, but I wanted it because Arcee, because it's another version of Arcee. I've got a few Arcee characters in my collection, and wouldn't hurt to have another one. She's okay. She's all right. She's got her faults. I know that. I wouldn't have bought it if I hadn't known. I mean, I still bought it anyway. She's okay. She's all right. I don't dislike her really. She's all right. Not the best figure in the world, but it is what it is. And my biggest disappointment with this mould is the fact that it's a straight repack from the Earthrise figure. They haven't made any changes or improvements to it over the Earthrise versions. So, yeah, I wish they'd have made the alt mode look a little bit more like an Earth mode car rather than just a Cybertronian vehicle. Or maybe they could have made some slightly different paint apps on it to differentiate this version from the other one. But they didn't, and why would they? Because it's just. I mean, like for Wave 3 of Kingdom, they're reissuing bloody Wheeljack. Why? There's 2 versions of Wheeljack already. You've got like the original. What was it? Was it Earthrise or was it Siege? The original one, and then you got the Netflix one. And now we've got him yet again. So yeah, I don't understand that. It's a waste of a deluxe, sort of character slot in the Wave 1 roster, I think. But there we go. I got Arcee. She's a thing. She's all right. So yeah, got hold of her. Now, in getting her, last month, you know, remember if I got Air Razor because, you know, I got my Hasbro Pulse account and I was looking to buy something off Hasbro Pulse to, you know, break the ice, and I saw that they were pushing, you know, they'd got the Wave 2 Air Razor in stock, and so I bought her. Little did I know that they still had a few Studio Series Scourges in stock, and had I known, I would have pulled the trigger on him instead, because now, you know, Studio Series 86 Scourge is sold out everywhere. You know, you can't get hold of him at the usual retailers at the regular price. There's people on eBay selling it for scalper money, obviously, but, you know, you can't get hold of it at a regular price. And I'm hoping he's going to get reissued a bit down the line. Some of the suppliers are going to get back in stock. They're going to get a restock. There's a few people are saying that, you know, I mean, like, there's a few retailers are saying that they've got it on pre-order for a restock, so we'll have to wait and see. But in hindsight, if I'd have bought Studio Series 86, then I might not have bought this gal. I might have just passed on her, and this would have been Air Razor in my hand instead. But there we go. It is what it is. Right, so that's that little lot. Then I went away on holiday for a week. Went to North Wales, Snowdonia, Porthmadog. You know, stayed there for you know, best part of a week. Well, was it 5-6 days with my sister and her boyfriend and the dog. Didn't buy anything while I was away because I didn't want any packages coming in while I was away. So I placed some orders on the Saturday just before we came back, and. Yeah, the next item, Hasbro Pulse has been pretty good with its shipping, because the Hasbro Pulse warehouse is only in Daventry, which is less than 20 miles away from where I live. Whenever I order something from them, it usually gets shipped pretty sweet. I've had stuff come the next day when I've ordered it, or, you know, the day after. You know, it's either 1 or 2 days shipping. And then I placed another order with Hasbro Pulse for another figure that I quite like the look of on the Saturday, and I was expecting it to turn up on the Sunday, and it didn't turn up on the Monday either, and it didn't actually arrive till the Tuesday. So it arrived on the well, actually no, it actually arrived on the Wednesday. That was it. Yeah, arrived on Wednesday the 21st. And so my next Hasbro Pulse purchase is Studio Series Dino. Quite a lot look of this guy. Turns into something that looks like an Italian supercar. I mean, a lot of the other Studio Series vehicle modes, they've gone for the fully licensed vehicle modes. You know, like they had Dark of the Moon. Soundwave in the Mercedes SLS, and then they've had a few other figures that have had licensed alt modes. And yet Dino had it was a Ferrari 456 that he transformed into in the Dark of the Moon, but I assume they went to Ferrari and saying, how much for the license fee to have that alt mode, and they probably either said, we don't want you to affiliate our vehicles with robots, warring robots like Volkswagen do with the Volkswagen Beetle, or they might have been asking for way too much money for the licensing fee. So in the end, they made a fictitious sporty car, and they made the robot mode look correct, and it looks pretty good. Again, kind of fiddly transformation. The biggest, I tried to transform it as hoc as I do, and I had a bit of a problem with the arms, trying to find where the arms go. The rest of the vehicle I didn't have any problem with. It was when I got to the front of the car, and where do you stuff the arms? I was trying to figure out how to plug the arms in. I couldn't suss it out, and I think I ran out of talent at that point. So I had to resort to the instructions, and I found out they have an extra joint in the shoulder that comes forward, and then it allows you to bring the arms into the middle of the vehicle mode and plug them together, and then that makes enough space for you to fit everything else around it. So yeah, there is that about it. He's an okay figure. He's got some slight colour mismatch between the moulded bits of plastic that are in red and the painted bits of plastic where the transparent windows have been painted red. Some slight colour differences, but then again, that's part of the course for these things. But he's all right. He's okay. Got him. He's okay. So Studio Series, what was it? 71 SS 71. Dino from Dark of the Moon. Got hold of him. And then comics. Got Beast Wars issue 3 from IDW, 25th anniversary comic. And then you look at this picture on the cover of poor old Nyx all strung up in Tarantulas' web. And I will admit, when I saw this cover, I was a little concerned that Nyx was going to get sacrificed. She was going to get killed off early doors for the sake of a plot point, just like Rubble did in the issue 6 of Bold New Era. Rubble, brand new character, they created him, then they killed him off just so that Bumblebee would get pissed off with the Ascenticons and go after Quake and Barricade. Nyx has been captured by the Predacons. She's been questioned by Megatron and Tarantulas and tortured at the same time. Dinobot, this guy comes to the rescue twice. He saves her life twice, and then he decides, I'll sod this for a game of soldiers. I'm going to defect from the Predacons, and it's quite good the way he does it. It's really good. Again, it's got Josh Bertram's artwork, which is pretty cool. I kind of like it. It's sort of blocky and chunky and scratchy, kind of like sort of similar to Jeff Senior's artwork. So I kind of like that. And of course, like I said, it's a 25th anniversary comic. So far it's moving along, but the plot seems to be zipping along quite fast. I think. I mean, last issue they introduced us to the Vok. I mean, really early on, the Vok are in it, and so I don't know how many issues this comic's going to run to. My guess is probably only going to run to about 8 or 10 issues before they move on. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But things is moving on a little bit, licking along a little bit quick for my taste for the plot wise. But so got hold of that, and then the final purchase of the month. Now, Botbots. I have bought a few in the past. When Botbots came out, I looked at them and says, "Ooh, yeah, I can see myself going a bit mad if I get involved in collecting these things." So I've deliberately stayed away from them. I've bought the odd one or two, but I've got some figures from the way from the series 1, and the rest of the time they've just gone completely under my radar, and I've not been bothered with them. And then recently, I saw a video where somebody was doing something, and they showed the Quackles, the season 3 bot that turns into a rubber duck, and I thought, actually, I could do with that, because Beast Wars Megatron needs his rubber ducky, and I was thinking it would be a good little companion piece to go with Beast Wars Megatron. So I was looking at getting one. Of course, in the UK at the moment, we're on to series 5, the Gold Rush Games ones. So season 3's been and gone, or series 3 of these figures has been and gone, and so how was I going to get hold of this Quackle? So I had a look online, and I noticed these people selling these multi-packs, and I saw one eBayer who was selling the multi-pack with Quackles in. So I was umming and ahhing about getting it, then I thought, sod it, I'm going to go for it. So I bought it, and then a day or so later I got the email notification, then I got an invoice from the seller, and on the bottom it said Botbot 5-pack Seasons Greeters. So Quackles is in the Playroom Posse multi-pack, not the Season Greeters multi-pack. So they'd sent me the wrong one. So I sent them an email back saying basically, to their customer services email, I said, basically, I think you've sent me the wrong pack, and then I explained, I did send them a message before I before I purchased the item through eBay, saying, any chance you could send me the pack with the the rubber duck in, and they either didn't see that or they totally ignored it, and they sent me one of these other packs instead. Now I did get a customer service response from them, email, and it was very atypical. They basically said, sorry you've had a problem, but these you've been sent a random selection from the multi packs that we've got. You get what you're given. Once the package has gone out, there's nothing we can do about it. And if you're not happy with the item, you're quite welcome to do a return via the eBay return system and get your money back. So yeah, that's basically what I got. So they arrived the other day and they're alright. I probably would not have bought them otherwise if I'd have known I was getting these. I wanted it for Quackles, but so I ended up getting the Season Greeters 5-pack, which has got these guys in it. It's got that guy, what's he called? You'll Be Bored. You got, what's this one called? Sugar Breath. That one there. Then you've got Mould Witch, the Mouldy Sandwich. You've got Calamity Keys, the piano. And then you've got the secret one that was in the bubble. Fail Polish. Now he's part of one of the Lost Bots. This guy was part of one of the what they call the Spoiled Rottens, and he's part of the Music Mob. But the other two are part of the Season's Greeters pack. So yeah, there we go. To be honest, neither of them are particularly great. The ones I like the most are these two, because they got reasonably decent transformation, and the alt modes are good. The robot mode's not too bad, and this guy obviously he's got this massive great cannon with a targeting reticule there, and he's pink as well. And obviously the other guy turns into like a piano. This guy turns into a mouldy sandwich, I mean, what kind of an alt mode is that? The worst one, in my opinion, is this guy. You'll Be Bored. Yeah, you'll be bored to tears when trying to transform this guy. He's got a stupidly simple transformation. I mean, I admit the transformations on these things are not so much, but this guy is especially rubbish. I mean, he just turns into a TV set with one of those fake sort of log fire effects on the front. And, you transform him back, and he's kind of got, like Santa Claus type clothing that he's wearing, but he hasn't really got a face. And so out of all of them, this is the worst one for me. And that is it. That's all I got this month. So yeah, I got a little bunch of Botbots. And the other things that you saw. So yeah, 40 minutes. Fairly straightforward, very quick video. Right. So first and worst. Now, it was kind of a tough one. I mean, the worst one. I mean, yeah, the Botbots. Part of the reason why I bought the Botbots and I decided to keep them was because they're a bit naff. They're a bit rubbish compared to everything else I got. So they were fodder for the worst bot of the month, which is a little unfair considering they're very small, very basic figures. And I think I've said this before. It's a bit unfair to make them the worst thing that I got in any given month because of that reason. But I think it's justified this month. So yeah. Now as for the best one, that's tough. Nothing was really what I would say is perfect this month. Nothing really stood out. I mean, there was that other figure that might have arrived today had I not been at the door this afternoon when I've been up the garden feeding the birds and doing a bit of weeding on the lawn. Apparently they tried to deliver a package at the front door, but I didn't hear them. They've taken it back to the office, and I probably won't get it back till tomorrow or Tuesday. So there we go. And that was a third-party Iron Factory figure of a character that I'm a bit of a fan of. Yeah. So that's if it is what it is. I think it is. So yeah, trying to pick a figure. Okay, let's do this. Right, here we go. First and worst. So yeah, I've decided Huffer is the best thing I got this month because it's Huffer, and he's my number one sort of character I like to character mold set collect. I've got the latest version of it. It's a great version. It's a decent version of him. But when I look at everything else I got, he's probably my favourite thing that I got this month, mainly for that reason. And then, yeah, you'll be bored. The worst Botbot out of the pack that I got, yeah, he's a bit rubbish. He's a bit rubbish. The others aren't too bad, but this guy is pretty naff, and that's why he is the worst thing I got this month. So that's it. That's my haul for this month. Not really up to much, to be honest. Nothing majorly impressive. Just a lot of retail generation stuff mostly. One third-party offering and a Korean toy in a comic. So quite a lot of deluxes, a couple of Voyagers, and yeah. So there we go. That's it for this month. Moving on to next month. Don't know what I'm going to buy. I mean, I might be getting 2 Korean toys next month because I want to finish off. I want to finish off my Pentastorm X next month. So I've got 2 more figures to go. I've got Sky X and Front X I need to get, and I might be pulling the trigger on them next month. In fact, tomorrow I might be doing it tomorrow. Depends on whether I can get this computer to cooperate with the Korean websites and allow me to buy something off them. So that's it. I will see you next month with the usual, sort of unboxing videos, Korean reviews, and end of month bot haul. So with that said, I've been TFR Wilderness. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.